Have you ever walked through a sparkling clean hallway or received a package right on time and just taken it for granted? We often overlook the quiet, consistent work of people who make our lives easier. But what if one of these everyday people was doing something truly extraordinary, something completely secret that changed hundreds of lives? Today, we're telling a story just like that. Meet Arthur. To the students and faculty of Northwood High, he was just the janitor. A quiet man, always with a kind but reserved smile, who'd been mopping the floors and cleaning the classrooms for over 20 years. He was part of the furniture, someone you nod at but never really see. He'd arrive as the last bell rang and leave just before the sun came up. For decades, nobody knew what Arthur did in the silent, empty hours of the night. Until one evening, a newly installed security camera caught something completely unexpected. The new security chief, a young guy named Mark, was doing a routine check of the overnight footage. He was mostly looking for technical glitches, fast-forwarding through hours of empty corridors. Then, he stopped. He rewound the footage. In the dimly lit school library, long after midnight, was Arthur. But he wasn't cleaning. He was surrounded by books, meticulously sorting through them. Mark watched, puzzled, as Arthur carefully placed specific textbooks, novels, and study guides into a small, worn-out cart. He then wheeled the cart not to the storage room, but to the lockers of specific students. Mark was confused. Was this some kind of theft? He kept watching. Night after night, the pattern was the same. Arthur would consult a small, tattered notebook, then find specific books and place them in front of certain lockers. He wasn't taking anything. He was giving. Intrigued, Mark decided to dig deeper. He started by looking up the students whose lockers Arthur visited. What he found was astonishing. Every single one of them was from a low-income family. They were students who couldn't afford all the required textbooks, students who had been flagged by teachers for falling behind because they lacked the right resources. Still not fully understanding, Mark decided to approach one of the teachers, Mrs. Gable, a veteran English teacher who had been at the school as long as Arthur. He showed her the footage. Her eyes widened, and then filled with tears. "Oh, Arthur," she whispered. She explained to Mark that for years, many students struggled because they couldn't afford the ever-increasing cost of books. The school's support programs were limited. Students were too proud or shy to ask for help, and their grades suffered. Mrs. Gable then shared something remarkable. She noticed that over the past several years, a strange pattern emerged. Just when a struggling student was about to fail, they would suddenly have the right book. When asked, they'd say they just found it or that a friend lent it to them. The school's graduation rate, especially among its most disadvantaged students, had been slowly but steadily climbing. No one could pinpoint the exact reason. They called it the Northwood Miracle. The puzzle pieces clicked into place for Mark. Arthur wasn't just a janitor. He was a Northwood Miracle. Using his own modest salary, he had been secretly buying second-hand copies of textbooks. He listened to the teachers' conversations in the staff room, noting which students were struggling and what books they needed. He kept a detailed log in his little notebook. Then, under the cover of darkness, he became a silent librarian, a phantom benefactor, ensuring that no student's future was limited by their financial situation. He wasn't just cleaning floors. He was clearing a path for these kids to succeed. The next day, Mark and the school principal called Arthur into the office. He looked nervous, his hands fidgeting, probably thinking he was in trouble. The principal slid the security footage screen towards him. Arthur's face went pale as he watched himself. He started to stammer, trying to explain, ready to be fired. But instead of firing him, the principal stood up, walked over, and gave him a hug. Through tears, he told Arthur that he was a hero. The story spread like wildfire. The students, the ones he had helped without ever seeking a word of thanks, were in disbelief. The quiet janitor they barely noticed was the reason they had a fighting chance. They organized a school-wide assembly to honor him. At the assembly, student after student came forward to share their stories. One young woman, now the valedictorian, confessed she was about to drop out before a crucial calculus book mysteriously appeared for her. A football player admitted he passed his English class only because the exact novel they were studying showed up right when he needed it. Arthur stood on the stage, overwhelmed with emotion, as he received a standing ovation that lasted for nearly 10 minutes. He had sought no recognition, but now, his quiet acts of kindness were echoing through the entire community. Arthur's story teaches us a powerful lesson. Heroes aren't always the ones in the spotlight. Sometimes they are the quiet ones in the background, doing small, unseen things that have a massive impact. They are the delivery drivers who make sure a critical package arrives, the shy classmates who offer a quiet word of encouragement, or the janitors who do more than just clean up messes, they build futures. It's a beautiful reminder to look closer at the people around us, to appreciate the hidden heroes who make the world a better, kinder place, one small act at a time. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched you, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more inspiring content. And don't forget to share this with someone who needs to hear it. We'll see you in the next one.